all we have to do, TK, is make robotic manufacturing facilities. We were driving the other day and we passed by the Amish furniture store. And I was like, I'll bet you it's a bunch of robots in there for real, because that's the easiest thing that robots could put together. It's like
The
5
Amish
pieces
furniture
of wood,
is
right?
It's not
Like,
robots.
right. I'll bet
No
you they
way.
got robots
The
back
Amish,
there.
that would
It's
be
the easiest thing to
scam
manufacture
Amish
on earth.
furniture shop. But actually, Danielle, that's good that you brought that up. Danielle, what do you think about like Chat
It
GPT
is?
and stuff like
Oh
that?
my God,
And
I was
AI.
just going to bring this up to you guys.
Yeah.
Bring
What do you
it
think
up.
about
Let's
all
go.
that in real estate?
It scares me.
Yeah.
I just
It makes
used it
everyone
twice.
smart.
I just used it for 2 clauses on my last like offer that I put out. I used it for a VTB clause.
Yeah.
It's fucking brilliant. I posted it on Twitter. It wrote a VTB clause for me, and it wrote, what was the other thing? Like, and these are clauses that I know I have somewhere and I couldn't find them. And so like, I was like, type me a clause in Ontario, VTB, where the this and that. And it's like, boom, in perfect legalese. Like I put on Twitter, not one lawyers were like, oh crap. Right. Have you used it for real estate?
So I actually tried it 2 days ago. I typed in, type me a buyer newsletter for 2023 in the Ontario market, something like that. I was mind blown.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
I was like, how is this thing writing better than me? I'm a good writer.
Yeah. Yeah. Go pick out the GPT-3 Substack in my Substack articles. Tell me which one was written by GPT-3.
Like, where was this when I was in university?
My son has been like using this for homework for, I don't even know how long, for a while before chat, like this whole wave. My son's like, yep, I've been doing this for months, Dad. I haven't done homework for months. I was like,
wow.
It's just different though. Like I used to have to go to the library or grab an encyclopedia and just copy out exactly what it said. Like find the most obscure book on the topic and then copy it verbatim, right? Maybe add a couple of words in. But like now it's like, do my homework, GPT, let's go. But what else can it do? Like, I'm not even kidding.
So real estate, like, creating social media posts, ads, things like that. If you want to do your description, so you don't want to write your listings anymore, you can just be like, all right, I got a 3-bedroom bungalow on a ravine lot in a private area. Write me a nice description that makes it sound really appealing, and they can write something for you.
SEO marketing. It'll do your SEO marketing plan for you.
Yeah, you've got a lot of stuff on the online marketing side and everything else for it. What else? Probably database management tools, right? Like there's so many things that realtors will. And so those young realtors, the ones who are getting their license now, or the ones who are getting trained right now, are going to come into this and they're going to be like, man, these old dogs, they don't know what they're doing. Like we're automating everything.
But it's not always right. It's not always right. Like if you actually go through the entire paragraph that they write you, it's not on point. Like you have to edit it.
You have to go through it.
But it's getting better. And then it'll eventually get to the point where you know how to automate certain things, right?
Yes.
And I think automation we were talking about this a lot for the last couple of years. Automation is key in every industry. And there's certain jobs that'll be eliminated. Our job will not be eliminated. It'll be enhanced. Right? And what I hope to happen, this is my bright idea, is that automation will decrease the amount of agents that we have. It'll decrease commissions because it'll be less work per agent and there'll be more deals to do. So we can, hopefully make the same amount of money, but we do more deals, but do less work because there's all this automation in between and things can happen fairly. And then that way there isn't a bunch of yahoos running around selling real estate. You have the real professionals who know how to do it, who are all there for the right reasons. And the consumer wins because they pay a lower fee and the agents aren't affected because they still make the same amount of money doing the same amount of work, which obviously my idea would have that element to it because it benefits me. But this is what I see as being something that's, really realistic, right?
I hope so. It sounds like a good plan.
Good, right? Sounds like a nice little oasis of real estate.
It's great. It's a great fantasy because the real issue is like, look at Danielle. She was there at 15. She's not learning from people that think like her and that are looking into new tech. She's learning from some dinosaur who's like, go get me the carbon paper, hun. Right. you know, like, but I'm not kidding.
But
It's
that
like,
takes time. That
you're
takes
learning
time.
from dinosaurs and the training program. I mean, I don't know what you went through, but this Humber program is so bad. It's so pathetic. It's so, I can't believe that this is how they put you guys out to the world. It's insane.
I heard it's easier than what Oreo was.
It's better probably too, Daryl, than what Oreo was. Like it's
Right.
probably more
And
detailed.
this is
Yeah.
sad.
Oreo didn't teach me anything. It was my experience in the industry that taught me everything about real estate.
Right. And so how many of your mentors was like, you got to check out Calendly or whatever that, you know, like they're not sitting there going, hey, like check out this new tech's going to make you a rock star and make me obsolete. Here you go. No.
Yeah, before I was licensed, I was teaching the older realtors how to use social media.
For sure.
Yeah.
It was,
well, they're sitting there going,
That's
this
normal.
fucking bitch. What is she trying to tell to do? What
oh, they didn't
in
like
this
it.
industry,
They didn't like it. People make fun of me for being on
Tell
TikTok.
me what to do. Yeah.
Yeah. And TikTok is like probably the easiest way to reach people out of every other platform.
It depends what you post. Like I don't dance on there. It's
but still
strictly just me speaking.
Views wise, exposure.
It's exposure.
Right? Yeah.
And it's
and
like
then you lead them to your Twitter, to your Instagram,
familiarity,
your YouTube channel, whatever. Yeah.
People when they talk to you, or people even when they talk to me now, they feel like they kind of know me or you a little bit because you give them a little insight through your videos, right? So you get like that warm lead if they're willing to work with you, which is interesting.
I think it's really important to do the old school lead gen as well as the new stuff.
What's the old school lead gen? Talk to me.
Door knocking, cold calling.
So you're banging on doors? You're walking up to people's doors going, hey, how's it going?
Talking to people is the old school way, one way or another, however you get there. But actually having a conversation with another human being is the only way to sell.
Helps, you know? Because people watch my videos and I'm open about my life, so they connect with me. And in sales, you need to connect with the person that you're working with, so they feel comfortable with working with me. I've had people call me from my online presence, and they're like, listen, like I fired my agent. I want to work with you. I feel like I vibe with you. Those are the words that they use. Vibe. I feel like I vibe with you. I love your energy.
Terminology, Daryl.
Yeah.
It means that they're getting along. Okay, Daryl.
But that's what it is. You get the vibe off you, right?
Yeah. Do you ever, but do people ever like show up at the coffee shop that you're at and you're like, hey, Danielle, I saw you get coffee over here. When are we?
Yes.
Right? Like,
I'm actually, so people don't believe me, but I'll walk down the streets of Toronto or I'll be in Vaughan, whatever. Be like, oh my God, you're the real estate TikTok girl. I know you. I actually watched my boyfriend watch your video the other day. I heard your voice in the other room. It's crazy because it's actually made me somewhat famous.
Yeah, like TK. TK goes to open houses all the time and they're like, aren't you that guy?
There's like 4 people who recognize me from
Weren't
this
you on
show.
That Dentures
like,
commercial?
Aren't you you're like, and what about the funny guy, Daryl? And I was like, I
thought you were the funny guy.
And they're like, yeah. And then it got awkward and then the conversation ended right there. But so far, that's exactly how the conversation.
People just throw shit at me if they notice me in public.
Yeah.
You're that guy
Daryl
that
doesn't go
says stuff.
I
don't.
It's all positive though.
He's not seen in public. Yeah, it's good, right? Social media, I think, is important. So
it's dangerous though, right?
She was teaching agents social media as a teenager before you were even licensed.
Yeah.
That's the start you need. And so now new generations will come up. Social media is huge. Technology is huge. So maybe Daryl, they're not gonna, the real estate skill part, they'll still have to learn from the dinosaurs, but they'll be adding in these new schools that are literally just like common knowledge. It'll just be like, it's like when email came out, you know, like it's like, you know, how to scan a document and send it.
But when
that was something that people already knew coming into the industry, and it wasn't they had to change. Whereas like my dad, literally talking to him how to scan an email, I swear I still have conversations with him. He's been doing it for like over a decade, but his age and everything else, it's like scanning a document.
Fax it to me, right?
DocuSign.
Fax it.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, I don't do DocuSign, right? Yeah. It's like a flip phone. Like, but the problem is when you're young and you're nervous and you don't know what the fuck to do, and somebody takes you under their wing and they're not teaching you this stuff. Now that when you want to use it, it becomes like, hey, I'm using this thing, right? And they're like, you don't need that stuff right now. You just just listen to what I told you. You'll be fine, right? Stick with me and you'll be with silk pajamas or whatever the hell, right? They all have like their thing that they say that somebody said to them 20 years earlier.
Yeah.
This is the way, right? And it's hard when you're nervous and you don't know what to do to like, am I going to use this thing that I think is really smart that no one is really using right now? Or am I going to just go grab the carbon paper and do it the old way? That seems to work for all these people, right? And it's just tough to be in that middle spot. Even with me, like with development, I learned from some dinosaurs, and very early I was like, this is the dumbest way to do this. We have to like do it like this, and we got to do it like this and do it like this. And I mean, now I'm not part of the group anymore, right?
Just like that.
Well, but not because they kicked me out, but because it didn't work. It didn't make any sense for me to work with these dinosaurs. But like when you're a realtor and you're like, I was older when I started doing this. When you're young and you start doing this and you don't know, or in an environment like today and you're just starting. I mean, fuck. Can you imagine how scary it must be? You're going to try something new right now, fuck up the only listing you got. Like, think about it, right?
Yeah.
Are you going to try something new and invent
I think if you're young, you're going to do it. You're going to be like, it's more effort. It's not like you're putting out a lot of money. It's just gonna be like, okay, let's try to post this listing a certain way.
Social media is nothing anymore. That's a no-brainer. It's the new stuff that's coming out.
Exactly, like using ChatGPT to write the description, or
would you trust it? Would you trust it? Like, do people know it enough
afterwards? You're not gonna,
Yeah, but people read what they write and put out already. It doesn't make any fucking sense. You ever read an offer that an agent put out?
Yeah, sometimes they're not knowledgeable enough. They'll read through something and they won't know what's right and wrong, especially if they're new.
Even if they're not new.
Or English is not their first language is another obstacle,
yeah,
right?
That's
so
another.
They might not pick up on little details.
That's a great place for ChatGPT3 to help, though, is for people that don't speak the best English to plug it in there and get it to spit it out in English. ChatGPT3 is going to be a game changer, though. So what else do we need? So from your perspective in the industry, what is the most important thing that the industry needs right now that would make the biggest difference? Not change everything, because that's impossible, but the biggest impact now. What would have to happen in your perspective?
Less agents.
Less agents. Just just beheading in front of everybody. Just take 35,000 and just done.
Well, that's exactly what's happening right now. There's a industry cleanse.
Natural, though. We need the unnatural. We need like humans to come in with swords right now and just clean house. No, really. It's like if you've done 1 or 2 transactions in the last X years, you lose your license. You can't just refresh it. How about that at least? You can't just maintain your license. You got to do something. TK, what about you? Do I?
Yeah.
Should I run on this? Should this be my campaign promise? I'm going to run for mayor, guys. Should I run for mayor?
Well, a lot of people just get it to sell their own real estate and their friends and family's real estate, and they have like a full-time job. I mean, 3 of my Uber drivers in the last few months, they're also realtors. 3 of my Uber drivers are realtors.
Jiu-jitsu the other day when I asked him, because he said he recognized me, and I said, like, I was asking him questions, and I said, well, are you a realtor? I said, maybe you know me from real estate. And he looked at me, he was like, yeah, actually I am, but I have many other jobs as well, And so I was like, oh,
it should be a full-time thing.
Cool.
This job should
so maybe full-time. But how do you regulate full-time, right? So I think, I mean, number of deal transactions would be one, right? But then there's so many people who need a license for other reasons, appraisers, all that kind of stuff. It's really complicated. I think the main thing is always just going to be public education. Consumers need to know
appraisers
what they're dealing with. They need to understand who they're hiring so that they pick the right person,
But if you give all these people that appraisers don't need their license, they need the access to the info that the realtor has, right? All these people just need access to the info that you guys are clinging on to for dear life, because it's the only thing that makes you relevant.